Your website footer is the most boring part of your website, I know, and is also the part that can cost you a lot of money. In this video, I'm going to give you the 5 things every sleep consultant website footer needs and exactly how to set each one up. My name is Rihanna. I'm a certified pediatric sleep consultant, postpartum doula, and the author of the Sleep Consultant Playbook, your roadmap to setting up a successful sleep consulting business. In the last couple of years, I helped hundreds of sleep consultants start, grow, and scale their business. So hit subscribe so you don't miss out on the next video. Okay, here's the situation, and I bet this is exactly what happened when you were building your website. I did too. You were busy writing your about page, picking your services, finding a decent photo of yourself, which can sometimes be a challenge, right? And I bet that the footer was the last thing on your mind. Stick your business name down there, maybe a copyright symbol, and you thought done. Except that's exactly where the legal essentials live. A missing privacy policy can mean a huge fine. A missing disclaimer can leave you unprotected if a client ever feels that your advice didn't work or they want their money back. And an outdated copyright year is kind of telling the visitor that you have not really been busy with your business lately. So let's get through exactly what needs to be down there and how to set each one up properly. And if any questions come up while you're watching, drop them in the comments below. Before we're going to get into it, I want to share a quick story with you. I work with a sleep consultant and she told me she had copied the privacy policy from a competitor's website to help her save some time. She didn't know was that the policy required a paid legal subscription that she obviously never bought. Not only was the policy now not valid, the company sued her and she ended up facing a $3,000 fine. So whatever you use down there, make sure it is yours, either written by you or generated by a tool or a person that you paid for. So the first priority of your footer is your privacy policy. This one isn't optional if your website collects any data, and almost every website does. We have contact forms, email signups, booking links, payment processing, Google Analytics, all of it counts. So as I said, your privacy policy needs to cover 5 things. Let's take a look at those 5 things. So first of all, the information you collect. And you need to be very specific here, not vague. How you use it. Who you share it with. So usually when you have third parties, you mention that they need to read the privacy policy of that third party. So any payment processor, scheduling tool, email platform, like all the third parties that your business is connected with. And then how clients can access it and update it or delete their data. And the last one, how long you keep it. So these 5 things need to be mentioned. You can use a generator. You answer a couple of questions online. You can find those and it builds a customized policy for you. It's like 20-30 minutes max. And then you can add that to your website, but make sure that it's not ending up like the story that I shared with you. If there's a paid subscription, that you make sure that you pay for that. And if you're not sure which law explicitly applies to you and your business, then the GDPR is one of the strictest right now out there. So if your policy meets that, if that's the barrier, then it covers almost everywhere else too. So the next thing, we're going to talk about your terms and conditions. Or your terms. And they need to cover your intellectual property. So nobody can copy your blog posts or sleep plans without your permission. You want to have limitation of liability. This means that the content on your website is general information, not medical advice. And you want to have third-party links mentioned here. Acceptable use of it, and which country or state's laws apply to your business whenever there's an issue. And it's the same here for the terms and conditions, where you can find a generator that can handle this, run through it, answer some questions, and then it could also be done in like 30 minutes. And if you sell anything digitally, mention that as well. So you add a refund policy or something like that to it, to your terms and condition. And then next is your disclaimer. So as a sleep consultant, you're giving parents advice, right? And so advice that they use to make decisions for their child. And that's serious responsibility. So you want to make sure that your disclaimer makes that clear in writing, that your advice is not medical and that results will vary. It should state that you're a certified sleep consultant, not a medical professional, and that parents with health concerns should see their doctor before starting any plan. That results are not guaranteed, and that all content on your website is for informational purposes and nothing else. So this can be its own page, or it can be a section in your terms. Either works as long as it's there and it's linked. And you want to put the same information also in your contract so that nobody can say that they weren't told. Now, if you'd rather skip building all of this piece by piece, every website built on SleepPro already has the privacy policy, terms and conditions, and disclaimers set up for you, done from the start. So take a look at SleepPro if you want to see it. Now, the copyright notice. Simple and almost always wrong. And if any questions are coming up so far, again, drop them in the comments. I'll get to them. All right, let's talk about the copyright notice. This is simple and almost always going wrong. So the copyright notice should follow up with the current year. Or if you've been in business for a while already, it could say 2023 to 2026, for example, but the current year needs to be mentioned there. Then is your business name. Then it can say all rights reserved. Now I heard that that is not obligated anymore to protect you, but I like to add that if that's possible. And the most important part is that you make sure that the current year is in there, because otherwise if you leave an old year there for visitors, they might not consciously notice, but it feels like the website is outdated and we don't want that. So set a calendar reminder every year in January that you change that if your website is not automatically doing that. If you have people from Europe or the UK visiting your website, the GDPR requires a cookie banner, telling people that your site uses cookies and getting their consent before placing non-essential ones. Almost every site uses them without even realizing. Think about Google Analytics, booking tools. And so in SleepPro, we help you do this and set this up with our step-by-step video guidance. If your clients are mostly in places that don't legally require this, you might not need it, but having one never hurts and it signals professionalism. A few more things that you could add to the footer of your website, as you see in this example, are some other essentials like contact information, your social links, small set of navigation links so people who scrolled all the way down can still find their way back up. So, quick recap. Privacy policy, terms and conditions, disclaimer, copyright notice, and if you needed a cookie banner. Block 20 minutes this week and work through the checklist. And check that every footer link opens properly on both desktop and mobile. And if you're thinking, I really don't want to spend my weekend figuring all of this out, that's exactly why we built SleepPro. This is an all-in-one platform designed specifically for sleep consultants, even when you're not tech savvy. Along with your website, client portal, forums, contracts, questionnaires, automations, and payment collection, we also help you set up the legal essentials of your business. Privacy policy, terms and conditions, and disclaimer are included, and we provide step-by-step guidance for things like cookie banners, compliance settings, so you're not left trying to piece everything together from random articles online. If you like to see how it works, head over to sleeppro.io and you can watch a demo there for free. If this video was helpful, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments which part of your website you are currently working on. I read every comment and I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next video.